Hey everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. This one's a little special though because me and Death Holy Death and Mr. and Mrs. Token Gal got in a vehicle and drove 6 hours north to get to the Shiloh GT. And we got there a little bit early on Friday, so we swung by T-Shirt Explosion, which is the store that is owned by the TO, and it is outstanding. We spent so much money. It was so great, so great. If you're in, I think it's Springdale, Arkansas, and you can spare, an hour, 2 hours, half your life just going in there and checking it out. Everyone there is real friendly. It's a nice place. They got plenty of tables with the really good tabletops, which you're about to see, and it's just fun, man. It's so much fun. But yeah, we got there and we came on in, and I got a game against the one, the only, the Valdez. And so we got here a little Shiloh GT pregame there, a little 2,500 point battle between me, Lord Tremendous of the Tomb Kings, versus the Valdez of the Demons of Chaos. And this is an excellent game. It is quickly becoming a tradition where every GT that we're at, we have to get a game in because it's mandatory fun. And it's a blast, so sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this little pregame goes.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and if you don't know what I take by now, you have not been paying attention, and I'm ashamed of you. I have my Tomb King, Lord Tremendous. He's got a shield, the Sword of Anti-Heroes, Armor of Destiny, Dragonbane Gem, and the other Trickster's Shard. I have a Lich High Priest, Queen Elizabeth, who is a level 4 wizard with the Staff of Sorcery and a Lore Hekara. And then I have a Lich High Priest, Dark Vincent, who's a level 3 wizard with a Dispel Scroll and the Lore of Undeath. My hero choice is a Necrotech Sinister Jeffrey with the Sword of Striking, Dragon Helm, and the Iron Curse icon. My core choices are 5 Skeleton Horse Archers with a banner, 58 Skeleton Warriors, the Fateless, with full command light armor and shields, 12 Skeleton Archers, the Queen's Guard with full command, and a unit of 3 Chariots, Rollin' Bones, with Musician Banner and a Banner of Eternal Flame, and another unit of 3 Chariots, the Thunder, with Banner Musician. My special choices are 3 Medusa Stalkers, those that gaze, and a Chimerian War Sphinx with Fiery Breath, or Fiery Roar. And my rare choices are my Hyro Titan, Nad the Protector, my Screaming Skull Phalapult, and my Casket of Souls. I did not get Valdez's list. To be perfectly honest with you, I was having so much fun, it never even occurred to me. Keep in mind also, these are not, well, this is just a for fun game, but the GT games, I'm playing in a tournament, trying to think, and I'm playing against guys like Valdez, who place in like the top 10 on the regular, so I'm trying to think, and I don't always think about the stupid camera hanging around my neck, so some of the pictures might be shot from the hip because they weren't. But yeah, Valdez's list I did not get. It's a trade secret known only to he who is known as Valdez. Here are my spells, which pretty much what you're looking at. And I did not get his spells because we were off to the races. And here's deployment. He plays a very strong, very brutal, pretty much mono, well, actually exactly mono Nurgle demon list there. And it's devastating, it's scary, and I tried to castle up in order to make him come to me, because, he was going to, and try to keep a bunch of his stuff out of range, everything else. For example, on my far right flank there, his center-ish, that unit right there has his BSB in it. So that was kind of nice. That was a misplacement, and you'll see how that works out later on. Other than that, yeah, I just kind of kept everything close-knit in the corner, and my hope was that by the time he got to me, there was such a traffic jam, I could just pick and choose. Really came down to, how good he really was. Here's his right flank, which consists of his Soul Grinder and his, what's it called? Great Unclean One. And here's his center, which consists of that unit in front there is 5 Beasts of Nurgle. Behind them are 4 Plague Drones. And to our right there is a Herald of Nurgle of some sort. Not a BSB, just some random Herald of Nurgle, I guess just for magic. As well as a nice little unit there of Plague Bearers. Looks like, what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25-ish? 24 plus the character. And here's his left flank, which is also consisting of my scouts, which is another unit of about 24 or so Plague Bearers, and his BSB Herald of Nurgle. I don't remember what gifts they got. I think his Great Unclean one got 2 up armor save and +1 wound. I'm like 100% on that one. I don't remember what gifts his other guys got. I think one got the Sword of Might and the other one got like my soul. I don't remember. Here's my army, basically, and I'm just completely castled up. From right to left, there's my unit of chariots. That's the one with the flaming banner. Right next to them is Kitty. Right next to them is my skeleton warriors with Tomb King and Necrotech installed. Right behind them is my Phalapult with my archers, with my Lich Priest installed, my Titan, my Casket, my other unit of chariots, and my Hope. You can see it. Here's top of 1 after movement, and I didn't get to go first. You know, the dice were with me. As you can see, yeah, he knows I'm not coming at him, so he came at me, and they were moving pretty quick. This is where I found out that unit on the far right there had the Banner of Swiftness, so their movement like 10, marching 10 anyway. Still, should put him out of place for a couple of turns. I was feeling pretty good about that, but other than that, I just had like a swarm of snot coming at me, and it was not good. During his magic phase, I don't remember what he got off on the War Kitty, but he actually wounded the War Kitty, which I'm pretty sure is illegal, especially first thing. But it was during his magic phase. It might have been, what's it called? Oh gosh, what's it called? The Rancid Visitations, but I honestly don't remember, so I suck. Also, during his magic phase, he gets Curse of the Leper off on his Great Unclean one, and I just didn't care. I wasn't planning on shooting at him or anything like that, so I think he was toughness 10 or something at this point, which is kind of terrifying. Nothing else happens. He doesn't shoot, and we don't have any combat yet, so we go to bottom 1 after movement, and I'm scared, so I stay right where I'm at. I think some things back up a little bit, and that's about it. Well, my scouts move up to harass the Plague Bearers there. That was something. During the magic phase, I get my 5-up board save off on my Skeleton Warriors. I just threw it at them, was trying to pull out some Dispel dice, and it didn't work. Nothing else happens in the magic phase because he saved his Dispel dice for the good spells, and I try to shoot, and in true Phalapult fashion, this piece of garbage misfires and fails to do anything. Can't shoot this turn or next. I am so glad I brought it. My wife did a wonderful job painting it, but it's all I can do to not douse the thing in gasoline and just burn it alive. The route of Nagash. But I won't do that because I choose life. During the shooting phase, my archers, I don't remember which unit of chariots, I think they both shot at the Plague, at the Beast of Nurgle, and were actually able to slip a wound through. So that was something. I was happy about that. And then my scouts take aim at the BSB's unit and drop one of the turds. So, hey, you know what? Not everyone's going to be at the victory party, and I feel good about that. That was all I could do in my turn, so we go over here to top of 2 after movement. And, yeah, the Soul Grinder makes it into my chariots because life's not always fair. And his Beast of Nurgle slam into my Skeleton Warriors, and I wasn't too worried about that because I figured the War Kitty would come in next, and hopefully, as long as he wasn't making his 4-up regens like it was going out of style, I could wear the unit down eventually and maybe save my chariots. Who knows? There's a better picture of his Plague Beast of Nurgle, dang it, charging into my Skeleton Warriors, and that should be a good fight. And there's a better picture of a Soul Grinder slamming into my chariots, and that should not be as good of a fight. That should be pretty brutal for, on my side. That's not going to be good for me at all. During the magic phase, he gets Blades of Putrefaction off on the Beast of Nurgle, and I just didn't care. I figured if he's wounded on 5s, auto wounding on 5s as opposed to 6s, I mean, it's Beast of Nurgle. I'm pretty much screwed regardless. Nothing else happens in his magic phase. We go over into combat, and as you can see, I lose 2 chariots. I do nothing back to him, but 1 chariot is not only alive, but kicking. So, kind of happy about that. Very surprised, actually, that the whole unit wasn't just, taken out. And the fun part is also that I failed my initiative check. I know, shocked, but I did. So, he auto-wounded and did not wound enough to wipe the unit. So, I'm happy about that. Then over here in combat, he takes out, I think, 6 of my Skeleton Warriors, 6 or 7 of my Skeleton Warriors. It was a pretty decent amount of damage. In return, I think my Tomb King was able to kill 1 of the beasts just outright. Well, I mean, one of the beasts had like 3 wounds left, so that was something. But my Tomb King pretty much took out 1 of those, and that was pretty much it. Fun fact, my unit champion is in a challenge with one of the beasts, and they flubbed spectacularly. He did 1 wound that I parry saved, which was outstanding, and I did no wounds because it's a beast of friggin' Nurgle, so what'd you expect? But yeah, just a fun fact. Now you're in the know. So, with all that, we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and the War Kitty charges into the Beast of Nurgle because they could use a hand, and my Stalkers come onto the table, and they were trying to go after the Great Unclean one, but I ended up scattering 8 inches back where you saw 8 or 10 inches back right where you're looking, and it wasn't a misfire at least, so that's something. But they're way out of place now, and I think they're in range of the plague drones, and that's about it. So I'm still gonna waste my shots. Meanwhile, the scouts continue to harass the BSB unit because what else are they gonna do? There's a better picture of the War Kitty slamming into the Beast of Nurgle because I need help. During the magic phase, I get Bubble Ward off, and I bring a Chariot back, I bring a bunch of Skeleton Warriors back, and the War Kitty just looks prettier now, and that's all good things. And then during the shooting phase, my Stalkers take careful aim at the Plague Drones and are able to drop 2 of them with the Care Bear Stare of Doom, so that was nice. It was too bad that they don't care about psychology or fleeing, but having only 2 Plague Drones to deal with instead of 4 is huge. Very happy about this. And then we go over here into combat, and I've got to give it to Mr. Valdez. I did check the table for magnets. This guy can roll regen saves like nobody's business. I actually wounded a decent amount. I fired off Flaming Breath and everything, and he made ward saves when it was flaming. He made regens when it wasn't. He broke my heart and giggled about it, and you know what? I respect him for it. Needless to say, I lose another 6 or so Skeleton Warriors. The War Kitty doesn't do anything. And yeah, it's 3 ranks and a banner to I think I lose 5 Skeleton Warriors. I lose by 1. Luckily, the Kitty's an Arcane Construct, and then another Skeleton dies for a total of 6. So, ouch. Then over here in combat, not only does he flub, I fail my initiative check again. And he goes to wound, and he only wounds once, and I make my 5-up ward. I go to counterattack, and he's disgusting. I don't want to touch him, so I don't hurt him at all. I win by 1. He makes his check, no problem. Kind of disappointing. But the Chariots are still alive, so that's kind of a bonus. So, they kind of cancel each other out, so I'm kind of meh about it. But it was still kind of neat that the Chariots are still friggin' alive. So we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and the Plague Drones come in. They figured now that they're half dead, they might as well make their move, and they charge into the War Kitty. And only one is able to get in the base to base with him, but we couldn't put him all the way over up against the Beast of Nurgle because physics. So that's where they're at for now. They're just over slightly to our left. Other than that, his Plague Bearers in the back there, they tried to charge in as well to the War Kitty and failed. And the Great Unclean One tried to charge into the Chariots and was blocked by the Plague Drones. So it was kind of a traffic jam, which is what castling's supposed to do. I don't really see how it's working out in my favor at all. So, poo. There's a better picture of the Plague Drone slamming into the Kitty, and that's going to be fun. And there's a better picture of 2 units failing a charge, which was kind of fun. I was kind of happy about that. During his magic phase, he's able to get Curse of the Leper off on his Plague Drones and raise their toughness by 1, which I think makes them toughness 6 or something ridiculous like that. And then he gets Blades of Putrefaction off on the Beast of Nurgle again because I'm trying to stop other spells, and I really didn't care if they were poisoning me on 5s. No shooting, so we go into combat, and another Chariot dies, but that's it, and that's with combat res and everything, so there's still one there holding this Soul Grinder up the whole time. These Chariots are amazing! And then over here, I'm able to slip 2 wounds through on the, Beast of Nurgle, which was kind of cool. I'm able to kill one of the Plague Drones outright, which was really cool. But the Beast of Nurgle really start whooping butt and take out a bunch of my skeletons. In the end, I think I win this combat, to be honest with you. But he makes his break checks because his BSB is pretty much right there and his general is right there. But the combat went my way for a change, and that was kind of nice. So we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement because why not? And my Chariot's going to the Plague Drones because they're going to get screwed either way. I thought about charging them into the BSB's unit, and I was just like, I charge him, I hit him, I do some impact hits, flaming. He's going to make a bunch of ward saves because the boy is rolling hot. And I don't know, I just felt like destroying something beautiful. I figured I could get the plague drones, and I really didn't want to be goose egged. Had I really taken a moment to think about it, maybe I would have charged the plague drones. But you know what? They're going to be steadfast. They're going to have the banner. With my luck, he would roll snake eyes. So I went into the plague drones, figuring why not. If I could break the plague drones and overrun, you know, I thought maybe 10 inches or so, I could hit the other unit, maybe do impact hits there. It was hope. It was just hope. That's all it was. And if not, well, what can you do? Other than that, the scouts continue their harassment maneuver. The stalkers walk up in order to get in range of the Great Unclean One, because this is their last chance to kill him before he gets a hold of me, and everything else stays right where it's at because it's mostly useless. There's a better picture of the chariots joining in on a big fight because it should be fun. During the magic phase, I get shut down cold, which breaks my heart a little bit, but it is what it is. So we go into shooting, and I rolled 2 misfires and a 2. I lose a stalker outright, and another one's carrying 2 wounds, cause outstanding. They could have been somebody. They could have been the stalkers that took down a Great Unclean One, and instead they decided to look at each other to ask what the best way of staring at this thing would be, and one died outright, and the other one's hanging on by a thread. So it's like, doesn't it figure? Oh well, they could have been somebody. They could have been somebody. Then we go over here into combat, and my chariots actually slip 2 wounds through on this soul grinder and take nothing in return. I make my ward saves. I win by 1 or 2, and 1, 2, or 3, something like that. But with the general right there, he makes his break check by a landslide, and he's fine. But that would have been so cool if he had blown up. But Valdez is not a giver. He's not a giver. Over here in combat, my chariots comboed up with the kitty and the skeleton warriors and everything like that. I was able to put 1 more wound through on the beast of Nurgle. I was able to finish off the plague drones, which was really nice. I overrun 9 inches, which was, I think, 2 or 3 shy of what I actually needed to hit the plague bears. And now they're in beautiful position to be flank charged by the Great Unclean One and be charged in front by the plague bears, which should be about as awesome as you think it's going to be. And yeah, but at least he didn't goose egg me. I got the plague drones. That's something. So with a heavy heart, we go over here to top of 4 after movement, and the Great Unclean One, and the unit of plague bears without the BSB charge into my chariots and make it no problem. The other unit of plague bears charge into the side of the war kitty, and we all know what's going to happen there. And it's the worst parts of the Bible, so I don't even know what to tell you. There's a better picture of his Great Unclean One and his plague bearers slamming into the chariots that never really should have been there. That was completely my fault, and I'm stupid for doing that. And there's a better picture of his plague bearers with BSBs slamming into the flank of my war kitty, and this is my fault. I deserve this. During his magic phase, he gets Curse of the Leper off on his plague bearers because I just didn't have enough dispel to stop it anymore. We go into combat over here, and the tide is definitely turning. I have 1 chariot left after all is said and done, with 1 wound left on him, so I'm really, like, I can sense the end. It was a hell of a fight, but damn it, I'm going to make him earn every last kill. In combat over here, he earns every last kill, and absolutely devastates my chariots. Just destroys them before they can do anything. That's not entirely true. I think 1 chariot was alive and got to attack, and I flubbed completely. I needed 5s, I think, to hit him, and I didn't hit at all. I didn't wound at all, or he made his ward saves. Bottom line is, he was fine, and I was powder. The Great Unclean One leaves his back to the stalkers because that seemed to work so well last time, and the other unit and the unit of plague bears turned to face the stalkers because points are points. Over here, yeah, it's absolutely tragic. He rips the war kitty apart. I don't like to talk about it. It's still too fresh. The skeleton warriors, of course, flub spectacularly into the beast of Nurgle. Not that, let me rephrase that. They're not flubbing. They're actually hitting and wounding quite a bit. Valdez is making his regen saves like it's a 2-up. It's like I'm a demon player fighting a horde brick of white lions with the banner of the World Dragon. I I don't know what to do. I want him to use dice that are D3. I don't know what else to do. He's making these saves and outplaying me, and it's a terrible combination because it's devastating me. But yes, the War Kitty dies, and I have like 24 skeletons left in that unit, including the characters. I'm in a lot of trouble, and I'm waiting for Sigmar to come and rescue me. So Sigmar doesn't show up, and so I'm forced to go into bottom of 4 after movement, and I don't even know what to do anymore. Yeah, the Stalkers move up because there's no way I'm getting away from the Plague Bears anyway. They come up to look at the Great Unclean One, hoping for, 2 10s and maybe just a glory shot to kill this thing. I think it's initiative 4, so I need 6s anyway, but crazier things have happened. And that's really, the Scouts don't even want to be part of the army anymore. They just kind of hang back, and they're like, well, good luck. During the magic phase, I get Killing Blow and 5 of Ward Save off on the Skeleton Warriors. I don't really care about Killing Blow. I'm just trying to bring skeletons back so I can try to make it to turn 6 and salvage what I can because I'm desperate. The 5 of Ward Save was nice, though. I won't lie. But it's only this unit. I had such a low magic phase. I was just praying I got some spells off, and it worked out. Over here in combat, these guys actually pass their initiative check, and he fails to hit, which was hilarious. They counterattack, and they, of course, fail to wound because it's a walking building. He does lose by 1, though, because I have a banner, but he makes his break check his break check no problem, which was a shame. Then over here in combat, it helps out a little bit. I do lose some skeletons, but I'm able to kill a Beast of Nurgle and put 3 wounds on another. It goes quite well for me. I win this combat by a decent amount, but he rolls a 3. He was 1 pip away from getting everything back. That's the kind of dice he's been rolling. The man knows how to roll some dice, let me tell you. But you know what? I won the combat at least, so I'm not crumbling yet. So we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and the Plague Bears with his BSB slam into my catapult of uselessness. And his Great Unclean One runs around because obviously in the shooting phase I did nothing to him. I think I rolled like a 6 and didn't roll any 6s, and I deserve this. The Plague Bears slam into the flank of the Stalkers, and you know what? The Stalkers failed me, so I'm all for it. And everything else he has is already in combat, so what can you do? There's a better picture of the Plague Bears with BSB slamming into the catapult, and they're screwed. And there's a better picture of his Plague Bears slamming into my Stalkers. And you know what? I want him to punish them for failing me the way they did. They could have been somebody. During the magic phase, he gets Blades of Putrefaction off on the beast again, and I let it go because I'm worried about other spells. Luckily for me, I'm able to stop the rest of the spells, so we go into combat, and he has no problem obliterating that useless piece of shit catapult, and then overrunning into my archers. And you know what? He's mopping up now. I'm just trying to hold on for as long as I can. Over here, you know what? I don't even care that the chariot finally died. It held up against this soul grinder since turn 2. I think it was top of turn 2. Here it is top of turn 5, and he finally killed the final chariot. What a trooper. What an absolute trooper. He even won some combats against this damn thing. I have no complaints. None. 0. Over here, again, the little booger guys, they were able to kill my Stalkers, but the Stalkers really failed me on this one, and I'm a vengeful general, so feeding them to the Plague Bears, I'm not going to lose a wink of sleep over that. Over here in combat, I did really well in the last combat phase, which means this combat phase, somebody had to kick my teeth down my throat, and Valdez complied and did just that. I'm down to 21 skeletons, and his Beasts of Nurgle are fine. In fact, these Beasts of Nurgle are so happy they will never become Plague Drones. That's right, never. They're just too damn thrilled. So, we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and I've got none. Everything I have is dead in combat or waiting its turn to be dead or in combat. Even the scouts are like, yeah, we can shoot at the Great Unclean One from here. We're going to make them look cooler. I don't do anything. Nothing happens in my magic phase really worth mentioning. I'm able to get +1 attack off on my Skeleton Warriors, and that's it. Everything else is stopped or doesn't go off because I'm rolling like a champion. We go into combat though, and he obliterates most of the unit. I think there's 2 or 3 skeleton archers left, and both the characters, which means my time is numbered. And then we go over here into combat, and I get one wound through on the Beast of Nurgle. They do a couple of wounds back to me. I win this combat, and they could care less because when he needs to roll low, he's not rolling Snake Eyes, but he might as well be. So we go over here to top of 6 after movement, and the Soul Crusher slams into the casket. The Beast of Nurgle slams into the Skeleton Warriors, and I'm just trying to keep the tears on the inside. No, I'm kidding. We're laughing. We're having a good time. I was talking trash to him the whole time. At this point, I was like, and now I'm about to make my move. The scouts are gonna charge in the rear, and just you're gonna roll boxcars, and that's it. Oh, yeah, it was funny. We were laughing pretty hard. Or I was, anyway. I don't know. He seemed to be rolling his eyes. Okay, I'm kidding. We were having a good time. There's been a picture of his Great and Clean One slamming into the Skeleton Warriors, and, yeah, I think I got this now. That was what I was waiting for. And there's been a picture of a Soul Grinder slamming into my casket, and that sucks, because I really like my casket. During the magic phase, he gets Curse of the Leper off on my Skeleton Warriors and takes their toughness down by 2, which is awesome because they're mostly toughness 1 now. And then we go into combat, and he flubs. I fail my initiative check once again because, well, I'm leadership dead, or initiative dead anyway. And the Soul Grinder has to, get all his wounds, no problem, and fails to wound. He rolls a lot of 1s, like an inordinate amount of 1s, like a leadership amount of 1s. He is able to wound, or he isn't able to wound at all, so he wins his combat 1 because he charged. So I take a wound, which, okay, I'll take it. Then over here, the only thing left after all is said and done is Lady Elizabeth, and Queen Elizabeth, and she has 2 wounds on her, but she turns to face because she's a trooper. Damn it, she's a trooper. Then over here in combat, I don't even remember what went wrong here, but yeah, wow, somehow, yeah, I'm still here. There's not many left. There's like 16, 17 Skeleton Warriors left, not many. But I'm still alive, and that's glorious. Needless to say, he wins the crap out of this combat. And then we go to bottom of 6 after movement, and there's really no need. His 1 unit that's not in combat just sits back and laughs, picking their nose and stuff. They're Nurgle. They're kind of gross. Nothing really happens in a magic phase worth mentioning, so we go straight into combat, and well, I'm sorry, my Titan did charge in to the Soul Grinder here. I apologize. During the magic phase, I have a 5-up ward save and +1 attack on my Skeleton Warriors, and as you can see, I brought a lot back, so I'm just kind of hoping to hang on here and deny him some points. And then we go into combat, and what do you know? I actually survived. The Titan's charge really helped. He had directed his attacks against the Titan, and the casket a little bit here and there. Or actually, he directed his attacks against the Titan because it's initiative 1, and he auto-hit. And I was able to make some saves. So the Titan ended up with 2 wounds on it. Casket ended up with 1. We were good to go. And, yeah, no points. So that was kind of nice. And then over here, same thing. I actually hold on. I'm able to kill 1 more Beast of Nurgle because reasons. And, yeah, I hang on. He was not able to grind the unit down to 0, so he didn't get any points for it. So that was kind of cool. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the game. And as you can see, he did not table me, which means he's getting old and sloppy, and I'm ashamed of him. No, I'm kidding. He beat my butt, and it was awesome, though. We had a lot of fun. And I didn't get Goose Egg, though. I was able to get the Plague Drones. So, you know what? We're going to get to the recap in a minute, though, because right now, this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Alright, guys and gals, here it is. Token Gal is back, and she's back in full operation mode of making tokens. So if you missed out before she went and got married and became Mrs. Token Gal, or however that works, this is your chance. Get your tokens now. Send her an email. Send her your monies. Get yourself some tokens. They're dirt cheap, solid gold quality. You're not going to be disappointed. Tell her Tremendous sent you. She'll probably know. But, yeah, get these tokens. They're so much better than just using dice. They're so much easier to remember everything. You don't have to worry about your cards getting lost, stolen, ripped, torn, whatever. And, you know, they're glass beads, cool high-def pictures. Totally worth it. Get yourself some tokens. You won't regret it. That's right, guys. As you saw from the pictures, Unleashed Wargaming is now doing magic cards. As you can see, not only magic cards, but phenomenal magic cards. Laminated on thick cardstock, photoshopped so that it's real sharp pictures. The words are easy to read. It's real obvious they're numbered, the casting value, the type of spell it is. And they're so unique. They're beautiful magic cards. I have every intention in the world of sending just all the orders I can get to this guy when 9th edition comes out to give me a whole set of the magic cards, because these are amazing. Not only does this guy do great painting, so if you want your models painted or you need something painted and you want it painted at a real good standard, at a professional standard for a damn good price, contact this guy. Send him an email. Get yourself some cards. Get yourself your army painted. You won't regret it. Let him know Tremendous sent you. Real quick, I'm sure a bunch of you are like, where's the Banner Guy commercial? Banner Guy is no longer making banners. He got a new job, and he is no longer making banners, so I took the ad down. There's no bad blood between us. I still like the guy a lot. I hope one day to get a game in against him and everything like that. But nope, if you didn't order a banner from him now, you missed your opportunity, and he is now back off of doing banners. He is now working for a living doing something else. So don't bother him. He's not going to do your banners anymore. That's your fault. Don't ever hesitate when opportunity knocks. But to get back to the game, it was a defeat for Lord Tremendous. I got beat up pretty good by the one they call Valdez. I ended up losing both of my units of chariots, my archers, both Lich High Priests, and my War Kitty, which hurt, my catapult, which didn't hurt, and my stalkers, which I'm kind of vanilla about. The demons ended up losing the plague drones. Yeah, that's all I was able to kill. But I didn't get Goose Egg, so I take that as a moral victory. But once again, I got Valdez'd. And you know what? You don't really appreciate getting Valdez'd until the original Valdez's you. Yeah, somehow we just went Smurf with it. I don't get it. You know what? I'm actually proud of the way my army performed. All in all, I was wounding pretty good. I would say the exact amount of wounds I should have been getting to slightly above, and he was making region and ward saves like it wasn't hard, like they were 2 up. It was ridiculous. But I can't fault the guy for rolling well, and it was impressive. But not even in death was I safe from Nurgle's plagues, and I blame society. All in all, though, like I said, my army did fine. Couldn't get my undeath spells off for chaffing them up or anything like that. Couldn't get my wounds to stick, and the damn demons were just there to stay. They got a hold of me. They did everything that they should do, and they did it better than everything I should have done. And that's exactly what I expect from Valdez. I mean, this guy literally places in the top 10 pretty much every single GT he's ever been to since I've known him, which, you know, it's only to say like 3 GTs, but still, I can't remember the last time I placed in the top 10 because, yeah, it's never friggin' happened because I play like this. Well, you know what can you do? But you know what? It's always a pleasure to play against Valdez. If you do get a chance to play against this guy, friendly game, tournament play, whatever, buy him a soda, buy him a beer, buy him whatever he's drinking, and get a game in with him. You won't regret it. It's a lot of fun. He's a good guy. He's a good opponent. And you're only going to get better. You know, when he kicks your teeth down your throat, you don't really have that shoe leather taste in your mouth afterwards, so it's kind of nice. But as always, though, it was a great game. He's a great opponent, and I can't wait to get my next game in against him. But yeah, guys, that's it. No more foreplay. The next battle report, I promise, will be Game 1 of the Shiloh GT, and it was an epic good GT. If you weren't there, I would feel sorry for you if I didn't feel so much better than you. I'm kidding. Calm down. Quit hitting dislike so many times. But yeah, guys, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.